Yeah, so in that respect of the kind of reinvention, I've just taken years just to really analyse myself, not in myself as in who I am spiritually, but myself as in my material makeup, my conditioning, where a lot of my conditionings came from, how I was, the influences that have influenced me to become, to have the kind of personality I've had, also how to change my personality. So I used to be quite harsh and quite maybe fanatical. It served the purpose at the time, you know. It pushed me forward, but I don't think I was as sweet and as friendly. I'm quite a selfish person. So having all those kind of like illuminations or realizations later on in our practice, you start to look back thinking, oh yeah, that would have been nicer if I'd been this kind of devotee then, and this kind of. I'm not saying, it's not like, oh yeah, you know, hindsight, I can't change it, but I can change it now. So I've spent years now my going forward is looking back to see how I can be a better version of that, and changing the type of person I am. and in doing so, then I create a better environment for me to practice my Krishna consciousness in, and a lot of the other conditions, as we call it, anarthas, and conditions, I've learned to see them with the help of other devotees also, not just myself, but I've done a lot of work myself, you know, but with the help of other devotees, just learning to see these things and just slowly how to not to be affected by them, and be happy in the position I'm in, and be happy in my what japa, what I'm chanting, how I chant, my service, like to my family. Because that's the one thing my spiritual master said to me when I first got married, when Indrajit Maharaj came to Scotland, those times when I first took shelter of him after my other spiritual master moved away from ISKCON. Then I didn't follow him. I stayed within ISKCON, and I took shelter in Indrajit Maharaj, because my wife was already kind of dedicated to Indrajit Maharaj, and I thought that would be better for our family. It was just an idea. I thought maybe it's better for a family if we have the one kind of like spiritual teacher, and we can all kind of gather around that as a family. So he came once, and you know, because my service had always been the same, book distribution, deity worship, and now I was living outside and I really didn't have a service, so to speak. But Indrajit Maharaj said to me, well, the best service you can do as a householder is to Prabhupada is to serve your family. So I've kind of taken that on board, although I've not been very good at it, but that's really been my whole thing. It's kind of, I feel how I'm serving is by just trying to serve my family in the way that I can, you know. So that really comes to me to the present day. I mean, there's a million things I could say, especially through the whole book distribution years. There's so much there. There's books and books that could be written, but I think there's other devotees who be better at remembering those things. I know who they are. I think to get a group of devotees, a few devotees together, if you wanted like a video of those years and our Sankirtan exploits, Gauranga campaign exploits, you didn't need more than one devotee to bounce off the remembrance. But there's a few devotees who really have got good memories of that, and that would be a phenomenal thing to record and have recorded, like all those days in Srila Prabhupada's times when the book distribution was kicking off and it was all happening, and devotees were thinking, wow, we can do this, you know. It's all, not all, but a lot of it's recorded, you know. It's in Prabhupada's Lilamrita, how they first started selling the book, you know. And so why not that also be available in the modern day, and I guess it is to some degree, because other devotees like Vaiṣṇava Prabhu has his book distribution and it's all been recorded, you know, and he's doing all these seminars. So I think all these things. But for devotees who lived in Karuna Bhavan at that time, when it was all like full on, like an army, we were all like in the same army, then I think it'd be nice. I think it'd be nice to be able to put all these things down, either in writing or in this kind of form, in kind of video form. It also allow us to have appreciation for the devotees that we serve with, you know, because in time we don't forget, but I do anyway, forget really good times you had in that service, and now that most of us are all elsewhere, it's nice to have those kind of memories. Because when you meet them, that's really all that goes down. Or this time, that time when we were doing this and we were doing that, and it's nice. Yeah. Anyway, that's really all. That's really, I can think of lots of things to say, but it's really like it's in relation to those years.
What about in your present life? Any futures, plans for the future? Concluding words.
Concluding words. Although I would say absorbed to some degree in maintaining my family, working, and I don't have much time for my son as I had before, and maybe it's not even as good as before. My heart is like 100% into it, and I've never at any time thought that sometime in the future that I will not carry on in that same propensity, same position, that I'll be once again somehow reinstated, so I can fully absorb myself in whatever service is available, whether it's giving Krishna consciousness to others, sharing experience of my Krishna consciousness journey, encouraging others, or going out and try to distribute books. Harinam for sure. I love Harinam on the street, just banging the Mridanga and spreading the holy name. That's for sure. I have that vision. I would like to see myself being involved in that with other devotees. Leading, no, I don't think I'll ever be a leader. I don't think I've got it to be a leader, but following, I'm more than happy to be a follower as opposed to a leader. And but yeah, that's my future. My kids are growing up now, and they're already starting to be independent and do their own things. So I think my whole family are nearly almost all doing their own thing. It's just the remnants of that while they become more and more independent and hopefully they can stand on their own 2 feet. But I don't know what Krishna's got in store for me. I don't know, but I have that hope that somewhere along the line devotees will pick me up and somehow fix me on something that I can be of some value, Yeah. But for sure, number one priority is to become more absorbed in chanting the holy name. It's of any priority I have. I feel through my readings through the years, and all my readings, it's the main theme that always comes to me again and again. It's the holy name, and the taking of the holy name, and the absorption of the holy name, and really allowing the holy name to awaken so that we can really experience Krishna through the name, and then we can just give up our desire to want to utilize the material world in any way for ourselves, and then we ourselves can teach others, and that because we are situated on a better platform, But that's always been a goal for I started. Well, of course, when I first started, I thought it was like sannyas, guru, and that was all these kind of things I had in my head, like pure devotee, that some people call it like avatar syndrome or something, or pure devotee syndrome. But it's called utsvamai, it's that initial enthusiasm we have that we really think we have to attain something, because we've got that doer mentality. I'm going to do this, and become like the head CEO, and we have that kind of mentality. And I wouldn't say it's like a bad thing, but we have, as the years go by, we have to temper it with actual understanding that it's not so easy to be placed in that situation where we have to be very responsible. We have to be quite Krishna conscious to be that responsible. So I'm not there yet, but I have still got that same enthusiasm that I had when I first joined the temple, and always. So these are two things: the holy name and association with devotees. I think that of all the things that's kept me alive through the years and all my ups and downs, and there's been like hundreds, thousands maybe even through the years, association with devotees for me is the most important thing. And now we have social media and things, we can speak to people live on little cameras and discuss of the devotees that we do want to be like, confidential with, we do want to be open with. We may have a few I have a few, then that media is very, 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 very good. So association with devotees, and not just for like kirtan and for sitting in prasadam and talking about philosophy, but also just for more personal, like more personal, confidential things which you only want to discuss with certain devotees, because you know their feedback is going to be beneficial for your advancement, both like emotionally and like spiritually. So these two things, the holy name, and anything you can read on the holy name, and any inspiration you get for chanting Hare Krishna and your absorption in the holy name, and sadhu-saṅga. That's like, how can I say, that's like, if I've ever had any realization through the years, that's my personal thing. That's what's kept me alive, you know. Never let, was it my devotee friend Mad Mohan said, of course it's not from him, but it was him that told me a few weeks ago, it got me encouraged again. He said, never let the beads fast. Yeah, so no matter how difficult you have, though, fulfilling your promises to your spiritual master, or fulfilling your promises to help Srila Prabhupada's mission, and however we may fall away from our regulation, we can always just pick it up and just carry on at any time, and just think, okay, here we go again, we'll just start again. And it's not an embarrassment. We may feel a bit low about the fact that we've fallen away. Okay, fine, we've fallen away for many lifetimes, but don't let the beads fast. So even if we fall away from a prescribed room or prescribed chanting, which I have done many times, and I'm not embarrassed to say it anymore, I don't have to hide behind that. Just don't let the beads fast. Always pick your beads up somewhere in the day and just sit and try and chant the holy name. Because I don't want to go into that too deeply. That could be it's a whole seminar, that one. But honesty is a very good thing. But we have to be honest with the right people, so that we feel supported. So devotees who are out there, and there's many devotees in all different levels who are practicing Krishna consciousness at all different levels. Even this small, one little tiny step, we should glorify them for that, so that we encourage them to do more, and not think that, well, if you're not doing more, then you're less. Because one thing is more, and it's never less. Even what you don't do, and the little that you do is more, and it's never really less. Yeah. Anyway, Hare Krishna.